Hello, this is Beth Dixon again, and this is question number 22 on lesson 1. The population of Boomtown is currently 6,000 and expected to grow by 2.4% over the next year. What will its population be by then? So in this case, again, first step is to understand what's going on. So what do we have? We have a population that is the original population. So we have the original population, and what's going to happen? In this case, it is 6,000. Then it's going to grow. In Boomtown, it's going to grow. It's going to increase. So we're going to have an increase in population. And so we're going to add some number to 6,000 to get a new population. So we're going to find an increase, we'll add it to 6,000, and this new population, what will its population be by then? So that's the new population that we're looking for. So to get that, we need to figure out how much it will increase by. And it will increase by that percentage, which would be 2.4%. So that's that 2.4% is how much it will increase by. And we can do this with either proportions or with an equation. And at this point, I've done enough of these problems that you should be able to do it either way. So if I choose one way, you should be able to go back and mimic it doing the other way, or hopefully not just mimic, but decipher is a better word, which way. So in this case, I'm going to do proportions because, again, that's my preferred way. So I'm going to do proportions, and I'm going to write my two fractions with the 100. And so that's the percent over 100. In my case, the percent is the 2.4%. And so that's 2.4 over 100. And then what's going on? Well, that's the increase over 100. And I don't know how much it's going to increase, but that would be that over the original or total population. And again, that total population wouldn't be the biggest number because our new population would be that. But this would be the original number. So this would be the original population, which is the 6,000. And then I'm going to cross multiply, and I have a second problem here, so I didn't quite leave enough room. So this would be 100x equals 6,000 times 2.4, or 2.4 times 6,000, whichever way you want to look at it. And so I'm going to rewrite this over here. And I'm going to divide both sides by 100. And so what does that give me? That gives me 14400, or 14,400 divided by 100. And that gives me 144. And so that gives me that there are 144 new people moving into Boomtown. So that doesn't tell me the final answer. Be careful. In these problems, we get so excited about getting an answer that we stop. But think through what you're doing. Put your math brain on, put your math cap on. And so in this case, what that tells me is that there are 144 new people. We want to know its population. Well, the population wouldn't be 144. They're not 144 people living in Boomtown now. There is 6,144, and that will be our final answer. And that's what we would put into the blank if you're using the computer screen. Okay, let's look at the second part of this question, which is the population of Dullsville, on the other hand, is currently 2,000 and expected to decrease by 2.9%. So this one is an original population of 2,000, and this time we're going to have a decrease in population. So that means we're going to subtract a value, whatever it may be, to get our final answer. So we're going to find that, and the decrease is going to be what? Well, it's going to be 2.9%. So that's the 2.9%. So on this one, I'll use, because I use proportion here, I'll use an equation here. So this would be what percent of the total equals the part. Well, in this case, the word total would be the original, and the part would be the decrease. Okay, so language is important in math. If we can understand the language, it makes the math much easier. So what percent? Well, that would be the 2.9. And so convert that. Move the decimal back to, there's the decimal. So we move the decimal back 2 places, adding a 0. So that would be 0.029%. Or excuse me, can't talk. 0.029, no percent, 0.029 times the total original, not the total, but the original, which would be 2,000. And that's going to equal the amount the population decreases, or the amount of people that move out of Dullsville. And when I multiply that out, it gives me 58, and I'm just going to write the 58 here because that would be out of frame. And so that's 58. So that means that 58 people are moving out of Dullsville. So 2,000 minus the 58 people gives me 1,942 people left in Dullsville. So what is the new population? 1,942. Notice I put a comma there to make it easier to read, but in the computer, please don't put the comma. And that concludes question 22.